Here you will learn about understeer. Understeer is when your front tyres are slipping towards the outside of a corner, making it hard for the car to turn. The cause of this includes entering a corner too fast or getting back on the throttle too early in the corner. In this lesson, at the first left-hand corner, reduce your speed adequately before turning the steering, and in the following right-hand corner, be careful when getting back on the throttle. Otherwise you will be exposed to understeer and the car will not be able to make the turn. Control your deceleration and acceleration in order to avoid understeer. Now let's learn about oversteer. Oversteer is when the rear tyres slide towards the outside of the corner and the car turns too much. To avoid oversteer, you need to be careful on the throttle, but oversteer can be suppressed when it does happen by momentarily turning the steering towards the direction of the tail slide, opposite direction of the turn, until the rear grip starts to recover. This technique is called countersteer and is important to remember in order to avoid spinning out in cars. From here, you will practice raising your cornering speed. When the straight approach to a corner is short, how much you can raise your cornering speed will greatly affect your lap times. Complete your braking before turning in with your steering, and drive a line that draws a constant arc from the turn-in to the corner exit. Unnecessary movements of the car will make it unstable, so you will want to turn the steering gradually. The inside edge of a corner, which you get closest to while turning, is called the clipping point. Where you set your clipping points will affect your lap time. Acceleration after entering a corner is normally performed from the clipping point. First, decelerate your car enough and turn the steering so that you brush by the driving marker on the inside of the turn at the clipping point. After entering a corner, you must not accelerate immediately. If you start accelerating again too early, it will cause understeer and will not lead to faster speeds around a track. The best practice is to accelerate from the clipping point. Gradually give the car more throttle as you pass the clipping point. Make sure to use the full width of the track all the way to the edge to shorten lap times. This is a practice to clip the apexes of 2 consecutive turns. The basics are the same as what we have learned so far. Complete your deceleration before starting to turn in with the steering. Clip the apex of the turn and gradually give it throttle from that point forward. It is also important to use the full width of the track. Make sure to clip the apexes of both corners. From here, you will be learning to corner with an emphasis on acceleration at a corner exit. When there is a long straight immediately after a corner, increasing your exit speed will lead to better lap times. The trick to raising your exit speed is to delay turning into a corner and to set your clipping point stroke apex farther into the corner. By doing so, the line from the turn into the exit will become more linear, which will allow you to start accelerating earlier. This will increase your exit speed out of a corner. Try to find a line that will increase the speed at which you pass the goal. Continuing from lesson 30, let's learn cornering with a focus on acceleration. The corner in this lesson has a long straight after it, and raising the exit speed out will greatly affect your lap time. In order to raise exit speed, you must start accelerating as fast as possible. Keeping your focus on applying throttle as early as you can, find a strategy for the corner before the straight. Here you will be learning a line for a chicane. Sharp consecutive corners before or after a straight designed to reduce a car's speed are called a chicane. Here, if you can raise your exit speed out of a chicane, this will raise your exit speed in the straight that follows, helping to improve your lap time. Find a strategy for this consecutive corner, keeping in mind to raise your exit speed at the final corner out of the chicane.